Thomas Frank is hanging by a thread at Tottenham, with club chiefs considering wielding the axe. The Danes' disastrous 7-month reign hit a new low with Saturday's 2-1 home defeat to struggling West Ham. Sign up for the football newsletter. Thank you. Thomas Frank is on the brink of the sack at SpursCredit, Alamy. Club bosses have wrestled with whether to axe Frank before Tuesday night's Champions League clash with Borussia Dortmund, although it looks like he will remain in charge for now. Frank has faced player revolts and was publicly undermined by Micky Ven and Djed Spence earlier in the season. While he has frequently been booed by fans in recent weeks, not to mention his Arsenal Cup gaffe at Bournemouth. And there is a growing sense among the Spurs board that Frank cannot restore any authority. Read more in football. With Frank's Spurs fate appearing inevitable, Sunsport examines 5 main contenders for the job. Mauricio Pochettino. Should Frank be sacked, Pochettino would be among the candidates to be his long-term successor. The Argentine, 53, is the greatest Spurs manager of the modern era, but was sacked in November 2019, just 6 months on from reaching the Champions League final. Best free bets and betting sign-up offers. United States boss Pochettino will not be available until after the World Cup, meaning that an interim would be required in the short term. Most read in football. But the prospect of returning to White Hart Lane next season would likely be an attractive one for Pochettino, who has rarely missed an opportunity to speak of his affection for the club since leaving, even while in charge of Chelsea. Mauricio Pochettino is set to manage the U.S. at the World Cup. Credit. Getty. Pochettino, 53, guided Spurs to the Champions League final in 2019. Credit. Getty. Xavi. Former Barcelona boss Xavi is another name in the frame for the job. The legendary Spaniard has been out of work since leaving Barca at the end of the 2023-24 season. Spurs could offer Xavi, 45, a route back into top-level management. The former midfielder won the La Liga title in 2023, while he also lifted several trophies with Qatari side Al Sadd between 2019 and 2021. Xavi managed Barcelona between 2021 and 2024. Credit. AP. The Spaniard helped Barca win the title in 2023. Credit. Getty. Johnny Heitinga. Former Everton defender Heitinga was appointed as Frank's new number 2 last week, replacing MLS-bound Matt Wells. Given his experience as Ajax manager earlier this season, Heitinga would be the obvious candidate to take over as caretaker boss. The 42-year-old helped Liverpool win the league as Arne Slot's assistant last season, while he has also assisted David Moyes at West Ham. Heitinga's record at Ajax this term would not inspire much confidence, however, as he won just 5 of his 15 games in charge before being sacked. Johnny Heitinga joined Frank on the bench last weekend. Credit. Shutterstock editorial. Heitinga assisted Arne Slot at Liverpool last season. Credit. AFP. Xabi Alonso. Former Liverpool star Alonso was appointed Real Madrid boss last summer following a stellar spell with Bayer Leverkusen. Just 7 months later he was sacked, however, following his side's 3-2 Spanish Super Cup defeat to Barcelona. Alonso, 44, would appeal greatly to Spurs chiefs and is admired behind the scenes. But the Independent report that the Spaniard feels he will get better offers in the coming months. Xabi Alonso was sacked by Real Madrid earlier this month. Credit. AP. Alonso would be a dream appointment for Spurs. Credit. AP. Associated Press. Andoni Iraola. Spanish boss Iraola has gathered plenty of plaudits during his stint at Bournemouth, particularly for his side's attractive brand of football. The 43-year-old's Cherries contract is set to expire at the end of the season, meaning he shouldn't be too difficult to prize away. Recommended stories. Whether he would want the Tottenham job remains a different story, however, as Manchester United may also be interested. Bournemouth recently ended a long winless run by beating Spurs 3-2 at the Vitality Stadium. Andoni Iraola is out of contract at the end of the season. Credit. Alamy. Iraola's Bournemouth dramatically defeated Frank's Spurs earlier this month. Credit. Getty. Comments.